Hello, humans. Wonderful weather we're having. If you haven't heard by now, there's this cool new game out that's supposed to be pretty fun. It's called Fortnite for some reason, and it's pretty much the next big thing. Specifically, its Battle Royale mode. Fortnite's Battle Royale is a game mode ripping off PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is a game ripping off The Hunger Games, which is a movie ripping off Battle Royale, which is a movie based on the novel Battle Royale. In Fortnite, you control a goofy-looking character vying to be the last one alive out of 100 after being airdropped from a flying bus onto an island. If you suck at the game like me, you'll likely not end up as the sole survivor anytime soon. I've tried quite a few times and never seemed to get past 10th place. What gives? I heard this was basically an easier, kid-friendly PUBG, but it seems so gosh darn impossible to come in first. Well, I think it's time to throw effort and work out the window and go for the simplest method possible to win. If I suck so much at the game, putting as little effort as possible into it should allow me to overcome my own weaknesses. Actually trying hasn't gotten me anywhere, so if I'm AFK for long enough, maybe I'll just end up doing really well. Or at least just as well, but without putting in all of the effort. First, I tried doing absolutely nothing, just loading into the lobby and letting it run from there. But some other players stole that idea but improved on it a little bit, so it wasn't really going to work. I thought it might have been a fluke, but it seems that doing nothing isn't going to win me any games. My next thought was that I could do nothing most of the time, but actually move around a little and maybe fight back to help myself out. This proved to be a much better method, but it still wasn't seeing the success I was looking for. Middle of the pack just wasn't good enough. Rather than settle for mediocrity like the Dallas Cowboys, I really thought hard about how I could improve with minimal effort. But I also realized that I was beating most of the players by barely even trying. Like, how bad do you have to be to lose to some dude putting in the least amount of effort possible? Come on. I settled on a strategy of doing the least amount of work possible, attacking and defending if I needed to, and looting around a little bit. Basically, just keeping to the minimum amount of movement and work needed to achieve success. After all, you can't win without killing the other remaining player, unless that guy's an idiot, so you have to have a good weapon and have worked a little bit. This method works great, but since I suck so much, it was hard whenever I actually had to do something. I'm pretty comfortable calling this easy mode. Others might call it douchey mode, still others the why don't you just go kill yourself mode, but I think easy mode sums it up the best. It involves 3 core principles. 1. Avoid entering danger for as long as possible. This means staying up in the air as long as you can, staying out of the circles as long as you can, and not scavenging for weapons until you really need to, since that could bring you into contact with another player. 2. Move around only to avoid the storm or other players. Don't move to get a better view or to plant a trap or get a gun unless you have to. Just sit still and have a nice time looking at the scenery or something. Moving is always a last resort. And 3. Be quiet. Shoot only in self-defense or to kill the final player. Crouch most of the time as well. If you follow these 3 tips, you'll be winning by default in no time, if you're lucky. Well, it really depends on how you define win. Coming in first? That's going to be kind of tricky. The last guy typically is pretty good, so even if you manage to find a shield and a nice gun, you have to actually know how to aim, which goes against the easy mode philosophy, so it might be hard to get accustomed to. If by winning you mean top 5, then you're basically a shoo-in. It's not called easy mode for nothing. Now I'm going to take you step by step through an easy mode game of Fortnite Battle Royale to show you how it's done. So basically, you want to stay in the bus until it forces you out, deploy the parachute pretty much immediately. That way, you'll be landing and about half of the people will already be dead, which makes your job, of course, way easier. You're usually going to be pretty much alone and really far away from everyone else, so you can loot a little bit, but still be careful. Getting resources isn't going to be a top priority. Basically, just want to have one decent gun and shields if you can manage it. Maybe some ammo or whatever. You're going to be getting your best guns that you're going to be using at the end to kill the last couple people near the end when some of the top level guys die and you just loot their bodies. That's happened to me so many times. It's not a big deal. You can find a good gun at the end. You don't really need a very decent weapon. So don't really worry about having a good gun. Pretty much you're just going to want to stay out of the circle most of the time. stay ahead of the storm. You're going to have to move, of course, to get out of the storm. So you can sprint, of course. Try to crouch as much as you can. Try to have foliage and trees blocking your line of sight against good areas where people might be, because they might snipe you. But keep moving when you're out in the open, of course. Just outrunning the storm is a big part of it. If you get lucky and the storm isn't going to where you were at the beginning, then you don't have to move very much. That's happened to me a couple times where I haven't had to move for like 6 minutes. I just got to stay by one tree. It was really easy. Came in second that game. No, I came in third that game. It was pretty good, but, third place, whatever. At the end of this game, I come in second, but I ran out of storage on my hard drive, so you're not going to get to see that, but I did come in second. The guy in first basically had height advantage, which there wasn't really much I could do, but second place is not bad for just kind of hiding out and doing nothing. Crouching most of the time, avoiding heavy areas where there might be people. That's a big thing. Like, don't go into towns ever, okay? So yeah, I still have a basic pistol, and I'm in the top 22. Coming across a decent gun from a dead body, like I said. And basically I just hide up in here for a while, because I know the storm isn't gonna come. I'm moving up to another spot. Having some trouble getting in, but I do get in, and then I just hang out here for a while. Just rinse and repeat. See, top 10 already. I've barely done anything. And I unfortunately do run out of memory space. I did come in second. If you don't believe me, whatever, I did. I'll show you another game. I'm kind of in a similar position. Top 9. I've basically, for this game, done the same thing I did in the last game. The guns I got were from dead bodies. I barely looted anything. I haven't killed anyone. I haven't actually really seen anyone up until this point. It's been a very easy game. That's why it's called easy mode. It's just easy. You're gonna get in the top 10 pretty much every time. It's kind of up to you from there how well you're gonna do. It comes to positioning, being able to actually shoot and kill people. Mostly positioning, though. Positioning is actually extremely important. You got to get high ground. That's something I am trying to work on. And maybe even build a structure to give yourself high ground. That's what a lot of people do. So basically just following the storm, not drawing attention, really just chilling. At the edge of the circle, no one's really going to bother you usually, unless you don't get very lucky. Trees make for good cover, little buildings. Don't hide in, like, houses, because people like to go in there. Don't build yourself a structure until, the last few people, because that draws attention to yourself. Just moving with the storm, it's pretty easy. And once it gets to the top 5, it gets tense. You're going to be sweating down your armpits, okay? Unless you're a normal person, I guess. Then maybe you won't. See, I still haven't killed anyone, and I'm top 5. I've barely done anything. I've just been following the storm. It's very easy. I've done this multiple times, where you just follow the storm and you're top 5, and then, who knows what happens after that. But I haven't come in first yet, unfortunately. Maybe I will someday, if I get lucky. I don't know. Taking my time, moving very carefully. I know there's people around. This part's kind of funny. I find this sniper. I didn't really know what to do with these guns because they're so nice. This was the first time I actually saw a legendary. And the sniper had 1 bullet, which I did not notice until I shot it. So I miss. That was the first time I actually fired a sniper. I've never actually seen a sniper out in the open, to be looted. I've only seen it from dead bodies. So I'm just kind of chilling out. Top 4, it's whatever. I know people are kind of circling in. Got the storm. I have to move forward. Putting myself in a bad position. Oh, top 3. And I know some guy's coming. I'm not... At this point, I know I'm not going to win. Like, unless I get really lucky. And then this guy just outplays me. He had a better gun, What can you do? And then he has a little bit of a fun time. Just look at this guy. Well, it's pretty great, isn't it? Look at him. And we're having fun. Oh, okay. So I lost to that guy, apparently. And this guy won. Okay. Yep. That was a game. So, the takeaway here is that if you're terrible like me, easy mode will help you out a ton. If you're decent and can aim, you'll do even better. But if you're already pretty good at the game, don't listen to my advice because it's probably terrible. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more Fortnite content, then like this video or something, and subscribe, I guess. I think I'm supposed to say that. This has been Sovern Gaming. If you feel like commenting or clicking on a video or something, that'd be cool. Not really sure what else to say. Have a good one.